What's good? You are listening to Daniel and Gian talk shit. I am Gian. With me, Daniel. Daniel just blocked my. For those listening on YouTube, Daniel just blocked my camera. But hey, how you doing, man?
It's good. I'm actually in a good mood today.
The great and powerful Daniel Trujillo.
No,
not at all.
Not even remotely close. No one's ever said that to me.
Yes,
powerful.
I just said it for the first time. COPPA.
Yeah, so I woke up this morning, went on Twitter, and quickly saw that the Trump impeachment stuff was going on. So I'm like, ooh, let me go on my big TV and watch it on YouTube. So I open up the YouTube app, and the very first video I see is titled like, YouTube can fine you $42,000 or something like that, or whatever it was.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I click on
By
it.
the Daryl guy that spells his name wrong.
Daryl Eves, yes, the YouTube guru. And I'm watching this video, and I'm learning all of this new data that essentially YouTube, starting January 1st, actually not YouTube, excuse me,
the FTC.
The United States government, by proxy, FTC.
Federal Trade Commission, which is odd that they're...
That's a whole nother thing. And yes, so coming January 1st, you can be fined up to $42,000 from the U.S. government for violating terms that are not really clear. And that's like posting inappropriate content that potentially could be catered to children.
Basically and this is bro speak here, but it seems that if you make videos catered towards children in any way and it's deemed inappropriate,
you can get fined.
You can get fined up to $42,000, but the issue is like we don't know what is deemed inappropriate, what's like.
And some of the guidelines are completely like.
Yeah, they're just really vague.
It's literally like, don't make videos that are if your video appeals to children because of celebrities or because of toys because of like.
Shit is fucked up when YouTube is like basically saying contact a lawyer. Oh, contact a lawyer. Talk to your lawyer.
Their video actually says that. Yeah. I wish we had a clip. Actually, you could pull up Daryl Eves' video.
Well, not just that, but like
the FTC
guy. The email they sent was.
Maybe you can read it, Gian.
Was vague as shit. Like I'm like we might have to take down the videos that have Baby G in them. Even though we're not even cussing, like I hope
it doesn't. I don't even understand. I just don't get it. It's really just it came out of nowhere. Apparently, it all stems from a lawsuit that they had.
Well, here's
Google
the email.
Wasn't following.
Here's the email. Hi, Daniel and Gian talk. Important changes that may impact your monetization and content discoverability are coming. Starting today, all creators are required to tell us if their content is made for kids in order to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. So I'm wondering if we don't check the box that says for kids, are we okay? Because this seems pretty simple. Like the email seems pretty straightforward.
It does. It seems like if you say it's not for kids and kids watch it, you're exempt. But what if you just say no and they still think that you're targeting towards kids? That's what's unclear. Because it doesn't say if you say it's for kids or not for kids, and then you make something, then you're exempt. Like I think about our comic channel.
Right.
If I say, no, this comic channel is not for children, then what does that mean on YouTube? Does that mean they're not going to advertise it for kids under the age of 17? So what, if I'm a 15-year-old and I like comic books and I want to know what you guys think are the best comic books to pick this week, that they're not going to be able to see this video anymore?
Right.
And you guys, it's like, what would be deeming, like what's inappropriate? Because you say bad words? So that's enough to, and then what does that mean? That means FTC can now fine us because we said it's not for children, but
right.
Like, how does this all break down?
No, and how do they? I mean, it seems simple enough from the email. I think we watched the video and the FTC guy. The FTC guy sounds like a.
This is
the part.
FTC guy sounds like a total douche when he's talking on this. Like,
we'll go to that part
he's like
too.
Real fucking smug.
So this is from YouTube's actual website. Yeah.
Unable to confirm whether or not your content is made for kids. That decision is up to you, taking into consideration these factors. Note that regardless of where you're based, COPPA generally applies. Be sure to consult a lawyer if you have questions.
So here is my beef.
That's like to be sure, because we can all afford to have a lawyer about fucking posting about comic books.
Right.
Like what? How absurd is that?
I mean, and also we're like that channel it's not monetized yet. So
Yeah.
are we gonna get in trouble for it not being monetized?
YouTube even made in their new guidelines that if your channel is deemed not what's the wording? Something not lucrative or no? What is it? I told you what it was.
Oh yeah. If your channel's not really like making money, they can
delete it.
They can technically deactivate it completely. So might have to worry about the comic book channel.
Yeah, and it's over like if you're violating these rules, but it's like, what are we doing that's violating the rules?
Right.
Can a judge honestly look me in the face and tell me I'm violating the law because I'm talking about comic books and I dropped the F-bomb? So does that mean now at this point that this is an FCC thing now, and internet is no longer?
Well, I'm gonna say we do know that there's nothing we can do about it because YouTube was basically trying to fight this for a few years now that we didn't know about it,
and then they
lost. And if YouTube and Google in their deep pockets lost this, and I'm wondering who was the one. So the thing passed during the Clinton era. So this is '98, and then it went into.
Dude, people even watching porn in 1998?
I mean, you were waiting a long time to
For
get a
one
30-second clip, if you're watching video.
One picture, and it's like you clicked on the wrong one, dude. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's insane. It got passed a long time ago, and how do you apply laws that happen when shit didn't even exist?
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
That's how.
Man, I mean,
America.
Year 2000, it was like, it started in the year 2000. It was past 98, started in the year 2000.
Well,
and then this is the first I ever heard of this shit either. That's the thing. I didn't hear anything about this until today.
I don't know about Googling. I wouldn't Google that on Gian's laptop. But what I was going to say is, you're right. And I also think, and I hope, that we are not the only ones doing videos like this.
Right.
Because this is the first time we heard about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is the first time most people heard about this. And if it's really lighting a fire under people's asses and they're getting angry about it, and they do what Daryl Eves suggested to basically write to them and say, hey, we don't fucking like this, because there's a link in his video. Maybe it'll change. Maybe they realize this is stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Trump supposedly, he dismantled the, the internet shit. I'm totally blanking on the name. The fucking law. The fucking thing.
The Free Internet Act.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Not that, but you know what I'm talking about. That. So it's like, would this administration stand for this? You would think no, right?
Right.
Because that's interfering with me. It's interfering with you. It's interfering with Google. Big time interfering with Google.
I'm just wondering whose feathers got ruffled.
I don't know.
Did some fucking
in 1998? Fucking probably has to do with Charlie
I'm saying
Epstein,
did some representative from the House's kid?
It fucking has to do with fucking Epstein. I don't know. I said Charlie Epstein, but Epstein.
Charlie.
I bet you.
Theo Epstein.
Fucking. It had. I'm telling you. Just watch. Imagine some fucking senator.
I know it's not Theo, by the way. Theo Epstein is the GM for the Cubs. It's Jeffrey.
You imagine.
Who didn't kill himself.
Imagine this senator knew that Clinton and a bunch of other people were going around sleeping with children and stuff, and they were trading things like this. And that guy in 1998 was standing up to them by introducing that and says, if you do that, you're going to get fined. Full force of the law. Cut to 20 years later, Epstein's dead, the law's finally enacted, and then we're going to find out the big conspiracy that Epstein didn't kill himself. And if you're wondering why I put those two ideas together, it's because I don't know.
Yeah, nobody does.
Been watching a lot of.
It's a great way. I've been watching a lot of fucking memes. The dog trainer video on fucking MSNBC or Fox News.
Oh, that recent. Actually, I was hoping
these dogs. Be safe with them. I know a lot of people want them. This, that, and the other. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
Fucking military guy. That shit was hilarious. Yeah. No, actually, I was just saying that because I was hoping something funny would come out of my mouth, and nothing was coming.
You just can't try, bro.
Just cut that out.
Yeah. You're at your funniest when you're not
talking or breathing.
That too, but
when
you called me up, or I called you up. We talked about you texted me, and then it just kind of put a damper on my day.
What?
This whole thing.
Yeah, because I don't know how this is
How does this affect us in the long term?
Yeah, it's just not clear. It's not clear at all. Even this shit.
And the whole thing, YouTube's trying to... YouTube, honestly, what sucks about it is YouTube has genuinely been trying lately to be more transparent.
Right.
They really have been. They're still vague, but they really have been trying to be a better platform. And then this shit comes. And now it's like... Because it's not just the demonetization that's a problem. Because it sucks, but if you're making money strictly on views, you're not. It's just that those times are long gone. But where it does come into play...
Unless you're real big, and even then...
Yeah, obviously the Logan Pauls and stuff, they're making money.
And even then, they're making their real money off of endorsements and stuff like that.
Exactly. They wouldn't be able to continue their lifestyles with their ad revenue, in my opinion at least. But anyway, there's talks that you're not going to be able to create playlists. They're not going to be able to see all those things.
Community pages.
Like all these things are going to be stripped.
That they just enacted.
That people are just, now they're going to be stripped away because of this.
No stories.
And that's like, what the fuck, man? Why would you, it's ruining the business. And for what? For what? Because what?
I'm going to throw a conspiracy theory at you.
Sure.
What if the mouse was behind all of this?
Mickey.
And it was all everyone's for Disney Plus.
It's the mouse. Like, this is happening now. Coincidentally, this video drops the day after Disney Plus drops. And it's because the mouse knows how many kids watch YouTube and want all the kids watching Disney Plus and getting them on their streaming channel. What if that's what it's all about, dude?
Then
the fucking mouse has stroke, bro.
The mouse has stroke.
The mouse controls a lot. You know what I mean? That's some scary shit if you think about it.
And maybe Mickey killed Epstein.
Maybe it was fucking Mickey behind it the whole time.
Goofy.
I mean, and that's did you subscribe to Disney Plus? Or are you still?
No.
Are you going to?
But Brandon texted me today.
I have to.
Yeah, he
yeah, no, I saw your wife already.
Watching The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. For the first time.
Which is crazy.
Because her mom's fucking super religious and witchcraft.
Yeah.
Hella funny how we still think that witches can influence people.
Hey, dude, they told us not to watch Harry Potter when I was in Catholic school because it was wizards.
This is amazing.
Yeah, witchcraft. Yeah.
It's amazing.
People still watched it anyway. But it was the most important fucking book, like, growing up.
Absolutely. Influenced a whole generation.
Everyone was fucking reading those books. I didn't. I read the first one. I didn't like it.
Fucking millennials.
I was a hipster.
Censors don't suck.
What were we talking about?
Fucking.
What were we talking about, for reals? I blanked.
I insulted millennials. I said, okay, boomer. We're talking about Disney Plus, bro.
Disney Plus. Yeah, Brandon texted me today about it. He wants to split a subscription. So now I'm just debating.
Hey, Brandon, if you're listening to this or watching this, get your own subscription, you cheap
$6.
fuck. It's $7.
No. See, okay, so that's what my perspective was. If we went in, if we went in on the bundle, then it's worth it. $7. We get ESPN Plus, Hulu, and I don't get that anyway. I don't think he does. That's what I was actually.
You guys don't have to time each other though. Like, hey, I'm using it now.
No, you get 4 devices.
Can you? At the same time though.
Yeah, that's what it says on the website.
Let's all split one. Come on.
Well, I was thinking about that for the channel already.
That's $3.
But.
Well, you guys are more than welcome to throw some fucking.
So I mean, we'll see. But
Brandon, hit me up, bro. I'll give you my login.
Gian collecting every month. Get those $3.
No, I'm just gonna charge up front. I want that fucking 36.
If I'm gonna be real honest, I don't know if it's a service worth not
to get the bundle.
You mean worth not having?
I'm trying to skirt lines and be politically correct here. I think that I could watch the Disney Plus content through other means and not pay that $6.99. And I would be okay with it because there's just too little content for it to be worth paying the money.
Well, as someone who signed up yesterday on the very first day,
a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shit on there.
There's way more movies than TV shows.
There's a lot of shit on there.
Yeah, I know, but what things do I...
The Black Cauldron.
Sell me. Why do I care to go to Disney?
I mean, it's pretty much got every like classic animated Disney film.
The Simpsons movie is on there.
All this stuff.
You have a child, so it's different.
No, I mean, I watched that shit myself.
See, I guess maybe I just...
You weren't a Disney Channel boy.
No, I don't like
Disney. I never watched Disney Channel. I'm just talking about the movies themselves.
But
it has every Marvel film. It's
how
got
often
every.
Do you watch Disney movies?
Every
Toy
Star
Story
Wars
1,
film.
2, and 3.
Has all the Pixar films.
Yeah, these aren't draws for me.
But
Wall-E?
I watch them now because I didn't have access to them before. There's movies that you haven't had access for years. Disney has always been very careful with their classic films.
I guess that's true.
The Big Green is on there.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not into Disney that much.
The Mandalorian, you're going to want to watch that.
That's what I'm saying. That's one show that I could watch through other means.
I guess.
But not in 4K and Dolby Atmos.
Yes. You just have to wait a little bit longer.
I don't know, dude. It's such a tiny amount of money. Why worry about it? That's the other thing. I understand. Listen, if we're talking $25 a month, if we're talking $30 a month, then I'd be okay. But it's.
You're asking the guy that's considering splitting a subscription.
No, I know. I know. I want everyone to know. I want everyone to fucking shame him for fucking worrying about $7.
Are you gonna give me $7?
Is it 12? Yeah.
Fuck no, out of principle.
See, so it's
it's $12.99 if you get Hulu and the other thing.
Okay, you know
ESPN
how they.
Plus. I already had an ESPN.
You know
Plus sub.
how they did.
Daniel doesn't pay his cable bill.
You know how they say.
Daniel was the kind of guy that would fucking tap into the cable box when people had fucking hardwired cable.
Did you have a black box?
Yes, he did.
Yes. No, wait. No. No.
I had one and someone came and they took it from us.
Well, my dad was smart and said to unplug it if you ever see any cable trucks around.
The feds.
Because they'll tap you.
Well, they used to do it if you had the satellite, they would just drive by and zap everybody's card.
Oh, I never.
So people would have to buy a new card every single time. Yeah, they would go by and everyone's card is fried somehow, or they change the codes.
The analogy people use where it's it's $7, it's 2 cups of coffee. It's $7, it's one meal at McDonald's. They say that. But if this guy doesn't spend $7 on a cup of coffee and $7 on a sandwich or whatever, then in your mind you would think, well, that means you have $14 to spend because you're already not spending the $7 that people already allocate for these things, right? I'm saying that it's not worth $7 for me because I wouldn't watch it.
You'll wait till it goes on Netflix?
Because right now, Netflix, as it stands, the only reason why it's not canceled is because I paid $3 a month for it with the whole 4K everything.
You're not changing my mind about you being a cheap fuck.
No, I am. I'm just explaining. I'm doubling down.
I would rather fucking steal than fucking.
I didn't say that. Don't put those words.
You didn't say those exact words.
Don't say that.
He said other means.
That means.
So that means you're still going to be watching the original content that's on there.
That means I might go to Carlos's house for one episode of something.
So go to Target. You know how they have the TVs there.
Somebody left their login on at the fucking library.
Daniel's at Best Buy.
And I could totally see you spending fucking 12 hours in a day to
watch the one episode.
To watch the one episode
on the bus. Someone's watching it, and I just tap them on the shoulder. Hey, can you turn the subtitles on?
When I first met, who turned you on to the free screenings? Funny. Was it me that showed you that, and then you went fucking ham with it?
No.
Yeah, we used to go a lot.
No, it wasn't you. Because
That's fine. You don't have to get so fucking defensive about it.
I was going to say, no, I stopped talking because I started wiping my eye. I'd credit my mom because the very first screening I went to that was ever like that was one with Ed Harris. And these two brothers never made a movie before, and they somehow gamed Ed Harris to be to play their father.
You're talking about the guys that fucking did Game of Thrones? Those two guys?
No.
How they gamed the system?
No. There was just two. It was an independent film, and it was playing at Lemley or something. And my mom was like, "He's gonna be there." This is before really all of these Q&As started going. And then we went to that, and then I forget how we went to the second one, but I met people in a group, and then that's how I really started. It was like a
and then they started sending you the fucking emails.
It was a big Facebook group.
Right.
No, it wasn't emails at that point.
No.
So what it was is the people would hand out the pamphlets.
Yeah.
They had a group together, and they would put their pamphlets they were supposed to be handing out to people to trade amongst themselves.
Ah.
So if I know you're going to be at this theater and you have these movies, and you're going to know I'm be at this theater with these movies, and Carlos, the same thing, we would all
So they were the people that were getting paid to hand out those
yes,
free
and
screening
but it was
passes.
their way to help each other out.
By the way, that's such an LA thing. They don't do that in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
because there's just not enough people.
When I'd be like, huh?
Because there's so many theaters here. There's so many theaters in Los Angeles. There's so fucking many. If you ever looked at a map of all the do Google Maps of like theaters in Los Angeles. There's a lot, but that was where I got it, and then we started going to all those things.
So the reason why I even brought it up is because when I first met Daniel, like he would like drive fucking 60 miles.
Not that long.
Get the fuck out of here.
Never that
Dude,
long.
Look up how far is Carson from Pasadena to Pasadena. Google map it.
It's like 20.
Carson. It is not 20 miles, sir.
It's not 60.
It is not 20 miles.
Okay, it's 30 at
All
least.
right.
30, give or take 5.
All right.
But
Look
it's
it up.
not 60.
Look it up.
No, I'll give you
you
40 miles, but it's not 60.
Here, I'll do it. Hold on.
But Daniel would go like far, and you'd have to get there to
Early.
make sure that you got in. You would have to get there at least 3 hours early. If it was a bigger film, you'd have to get there like 6 hours early.
No. 4 hours tops. 4 hours tops, and that was the biggest of the big movies, and I tended to avoid those. The most I'd wait is 3, if I'm just being honest, and that's bad enough in
How
your
long did
mind.
you wait for The Hobbit?
Not fucking that. 3 hours probably. Yeah.
Sure, did you not jump in line with somebody who was already?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Oh, okay, so somebody waited 1,000,000 hours to watch these things for free, so that he would save the fucking $8 ticket,
You know what?
and only to watch it like a week before it
No,
came out.
it's like months.
No. There were some movies that came out the week before, but you.
Some movies were a few days
And
before, yes.
And I tried to talk him. I was like, Daniel, hold up, bro. You just drove
It's free.
fucking 20 some odd miles. You spent this much time to save $8.
It's more.
You spent more in gas. And then I remember one time we got into an argument. He tried to tell me that his fucking Chevy Corsica that was barely alive, fucking. Oh well, it gets like this much gas at like miles to the gallon. I was like, no, it doesn't. No, that shit was fucking putting down the road. Fucking
Did
barely
you say
gets
Carson to Pasadena?
Carson to Pasadena.
It's 27 miles.
Yeah, fuck you.
But that's like
27 miles in Los Angeles is
like
basically
4
3
hours.
days. It's a fucking 3-day trip because it wasn't on a Sunday. It was during rush hour.
Why are you hating, bro?
I'm just saying. I'm just letting people know your mentality when it comes to
Money's
this stuff.
important.
If you take the stuff 710, it's 32
See,
miles.
some would call that cheap. Some would call that cheap. Others would call it smart.
And I would call those people cheap too. What the
Hey,
fuck?
I went and I didn't have to drive, so it was cool.
I wouldn't call it smart.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it
I
smart.
know you changed your tune by now. Now your time means something to you. Like
A little bit more.
You're
Yeah.
not that much more, but a little bit more.
You're
But
at the theaters.
You know,
in
I
Los
had
Angeles.
some of my best memories were at some of those movies
I'm sure they
that
were
I saw.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
fuck you.
We saw what's that movie
The-
when Hugh Jackman sings?
Oh,
Les
movie
Mis.
43 with
Oh,
his
that one
balls
too, yeah.
on his. Oh, Les Mis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know what that experience. I remember seeing the movie, but I don't remember the experience. But the one on a technical level, I remember seeing The Hobbit for the first time in 48 frames. Psh, that shit made me want to cry. I mean, that's movie right there.
I still wish I had the text message because you were like, this movie was fucking awful, but it was amazing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't even make sense what you just said.
I think that was the second movie.
It was like, it was like, when I watched it, like, when it was in the stuff that was in 48 frames was awesome, but then it stopped, and then it was, like, fucking weird, and it sucked, but then it was awesome again. And I'm like, dude, make up your fucking mind about this movie, dude. That doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
Yeah, well.
I think it's a future, but I'm not sure. Like, shit like that. It was like,
I wasn't even
he was
smoking weed either.
just so fucking confused about
If it was
what he
black
saw.
and white, that would have made
But
it.
anyways, so you don't think there's enough content on there? Well, we've already talked about the last podcast. You're just not watching TV in general.
That's what it comes down to.
okay. So that's
TV
I'm
shows?
gonna give you a pass on this
I don't
one.
think it's worth it for me. Because if I'm going to watch something already, it's not going to be a Disney thing. It's just not. And The Mandalorian, I'll watch it in other ways. Because it's one.
Fucking, I'll watch it in other ways.
Well, because I don't know. It's weird because HBO is worth it more to me than
You up, Gian? Daniel?
yeah. HBO is worth it more to me than Disney
I
is.
swear to God, I better not get that text message. Let me get that login. dog.
Hey, can you FaceTime me?
Yo,
I've never fucking
can you
asked for login.
Can you watch this? Can you stream yourself watching this with the glasses on?
Yeah, like that guy with the UFC.
Fucking,
Like when Gian did the reaction with the mirror.
yes. We'll put the mirror on in the background.
No, the best is the UFC guy with the controller as the fight's going on.
Oh, that's
Was
classic.
that Connor?
I don't remember who it was, but it's funny either way.
Fuck, man, this is amazing. But even though you're not gonna support it,
no, I'll probably get it with Brandon, but I'm gonna talk to him about splitting. I want the ESPN Plus. I really want to watch the ESPN
I already thought
30
you had
for 30.
ESPN Plus.
No,
The 30 for 30 catalog is legit.
that's what because I haven't seen any.
And they got a lot of like original shit on there. I don't watch any of it, but I know it's.
I want to see like.
I always tell myself I'm going to.
DC show. I want to see that, where he like profiles like.
Oh yeah.
Like there's shows I want to watch on ESPN Plus.
He basically breaks down like you watch the fight footage and he kind of breaks it down.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I want to watch
older
it.
fights.
And
It's pretty dope.
And then I could just pass on Hulu to my mom because she wants to watch. She likes watching those shows.
Yeah, I have my sister's login for Hulu. I don't need it anymore because I got my own.
There's Shark Tank on there.
I watched the Wu-Tang miniseries. Just because I stumbled on it, I was like, "There's a Wu-Tang show?"
The best thing I watched on Hulu was about the mascots in high school.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Behind the Mask, season 1 and 2.
Yep.
Jesus
It
Christ.
sucks because there wasn't a season.
Oh, what was
3.
the name of that?
Dude, it was
fucking
about
East Los High? East Los High? Was that the name of that
Yeah,
one
that show
shoot
too. One of the mascots was the fucking
The Giants mascot.
the Giants.
I watched that
mascot.
first episode of East Los High, and I wanted to fucking throw something through my TV.
Never watched it.
I liked.
It was like I felt like I was hanging
liking it
out
at
with
first.
Carlos's entire family. Like
You know what I miss? I
at
miss
a fucking party.
I miss those old MTV shows.
I know, huh?
Low-key.
That we did
That's
during
what's-
that they did during high school. Like what's the dude with the big dick?
What? What the fuck?
RJ Burger.
Who?
Look it up. RJ Burger.
I don't know who that is.
Google RJ Burger. It was an MTV.
Dude, I don't need you looking at fucking guy with the big dick on my laptop, dude.
That one
No,
guy
just
with
RJ
the big
Burger.
dick. Like that.
Yeah.
How do you know he's got a big dick?
That's what the show's called, The Hard Times of RJ Burger.
It's about his dick?
Pretty much.
Wait, yeah, I do remember.
It's
the
funny.
show.
It's funny. It's
This
about
is on Hulu?
All the
click
chicks,
on the
It was an
Wikipedia.
MTV show.
Yeah, it was an MTV show. I was saying like I miss shows like this. They don't make shows like this
all
anymore.
the girls love him because they know.
He has a big dick. It's basically he's like the nerd. No one likes him. No one likes him, and then they find out he has a big dick.
And all of a sudden he's the most popular guy?
It kind of just changes. Yeah.
I don't think that shit's real, you know that? I don't think that shit's real at all.
What?
Like girls finding out you got a big dick. I don't think they give a fuck if you're a nerd or a
Show
fucking
your
nerd. They're not
dick.
gonna. Yeah.
Show your dick.
It doesn't matter how
Show
huge your
your
cock is.
dick.
Yeah. Unless you got that BDE.
He, I think he had it. It's what made it because he was
That's
funny.
funny.
People
That's
started
funny.
noticing him, and
Who
then
was the love and
Anyways, I'm gonna. Here's something controversial about Disney Plus. So it's only been out as of right now. It's been out for a little over 24 fucking hours, and already controversy. So Disney decided that they weren't gonna edit the old films and the racist tropes that were in like the older films, and instead
they just put a title
they
card.
put a disclaimer in front, and they're also putting the cigarette thing at the beginning, kind of like the Indian films. They put the cigarettes like there might
That's
be like
okay.
tobacco use, but they put a thing saying that hey, there could be stereotypical racist.
That's okay.
Back then, and people are upset about it that they still leaving that shit in the film.
No.
Let me ask you something.
Leave the art as it was. You don't touch that.
Let me ask you something though. When you were watching these films as a kid, did you even pick up on any of that stuff? Because the stuff they're talking about, like the Dumbo, the crows, like
Jim Crow.
they called it in the article I read. They called it blackface speak, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but fuck those people. Period. Plain and simple. Like anybody who makes those arguments are completely.
Carlos, why is it every time I try to get Daniel to expand?
No,
on
no,
shit,
we're
he
gonna go. No,
immediately
no, I'm not
fucking-
changing the
that's
subject.
The first thing.
No, no, no.
Just shuts it down.
I'm not. No, no. I'm happily. I'm saying fuck those people, and here's why. Because what you just fucking said. It's a kids movie. They were not putting that heavily on themed. They were just making content at a time when that was socially acceptable, and it hasn't aged well. And I think in certain situations there probably was some overt overtones, because if you know Walt Disney, you know he had political lenience one way or the other on certain topics, right? So there's things without a shadow of a doubt he's making a statement on. I'm not like, the not Bugs Bunny, excuse me, the Mickey Mouse and Hitler stuff, like all those. Clearly, he's anti-Nazi.
Right.
There's a statement involved in those things.
Even though they try to say he was a Nazi sympathizer.
But you understand what I'm saying. But fucking Crows and Dumbo, that was my favorite movie. Literally, my mom would tell me I had to fucking replay it all the time. I could tell you right now that I never once was like, Mom, stop showing me this racist-ass movie.
Right.
Like, never. I actually thought...
Because it's an animal.
Yeah, but it's not... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Transformer robots. You remember those black robots in the second Transformers, and they were talking jive?
Right.
People were saying that was racist, and people
It didn't help that they were breakdancing.
And they had a chain on and stuff.
Gold chain. One of them had gold teeth, and the fucking robots didn't even have teeth.
Well, it's funny.
It didn't make sense, and they were spray painting and
but
shit.
But it's funny. I think it's funny.
I threw all that shit in there. I never.
Most of the stuff you're saying is actually accurate. So that's why you don't hear me saying no. Like, I think they did have teeth actually.
Oh goodness.
But
I mean, there's other stuff.
They put the title card in there. That's enough.
They mentioned
they're acknowledging it. Acknowledging it is so important.
They mentioned Peter Pan, and I'm like, the only thing I can think of Peter Pan was like, fucking Princess Lilyfeather or whatever. You know, I don't even remember the character's name. That's how important she was. But I remember, you know, when they go to Neverland, there's like that one section where there's like natives. You know,
dude, Peter or Pinocchio, like movies like Pinocchio are fucked up for other reasons.
Yeah,
like.
The fucking Donkey Island.
Slave Island, where the fucking kids are all enslaved and shit. Like, they don't have a warning for that, I bet you. That fucking child slavery is wrong.
No, they don't. I'm sure they're not.
Child labor laws are
when it comes to child abuse, nobody fucking talks about that. We're caught up in the race stuff.
People should genuinely be satisfied with Disney putting the disclaimer.
You know whose fault it is?
Because what's going to happen...
Let
me finish my one point, because this is where I was leading to. I took too long to say it. If people start complaining too much about this shit, they're going to force Disney to play SJW, PC Warrior, and pull those movies out of circulation. And you'll never see them again. I'm curious to see if Song of the South is on there.
No, it's not.
Okay, but see?
But let me tell you something about that, though. I looked into that. That fucking movie has been banned since, like, 1968.
You can buy it right now.
Yeah, but like from another country, like old copies. My brother actually bought one from. He hasn't watched it, but he bought one from Japan. It just says we need to watch that movie because apparently that shit was so fucking racist that they pulled it off the shelf in the 60s.
Well,
and it's the only one that's like, oh yeah, we're not putting that one out for sure.
Well. Okay, so, you know, not everyone's perfect. Yeah. That's why I said ill-informed.
Yeah.
But you're going to force Disney to James Gunn.
They got a fucking ride, though.
They do, absolutely. And it's one of the best rides at Disneyland. But you're going to force Disney to James Gunn themselves. And then what? And then you're going to say, like, people are going to fucking... And then they're going to have this back and forth shit. And then now the company loses integrity a little bit. Because all those things cause a company to eventually lose integrity.
Well, you know what? The reason why I brought up the whole, like, when you were a little kid watching this, did you pick up on any of this? Because I saw a screenshot, too, like Warner Brothers puts up something else, but theirs is, like, way more in-depth about how offensive what you're going to watch is. And it's like the same thing when I was watching Looney Tunes. None of the stuff, like, I didn't think as a kid, think twice that this was racist or anything, but... You know,
to me, it makes the content better.
Who is really to blame for all this shit? Crit studies students, bro.
Oh, who actually understand?
It's crit. It was fucking someone in college went and rewatched this shit and wrote a fucking paper about how all these old things have these racist undertones in it. Because both the average fucking Joe.
Well, yes and no. Yes, on one hand, you're right, and I could see where your argument can definitely go down a road, but I do feel like we have evolved to a point where we understand film better than like a base level. Where like we understand our fundamentals have expanded.
Right, but as a result,
we can.
But I'm not talking about the manipulation by using editing. I'm talking more like the use of animal. Okay.
I'm saying that
I'm going to go back to Dumbo.
I'm saying if you showed someone who wasn't an SJW, if he wasn't like never watched Dumbo, let's say, and you watched it, and he's an American, just an American, that's my only criteria, they probably would see some sort of overtones. Because, I don't know what they are, but I'm just saying they might see it just because... Undertones. Overtones would be overt, you're right. Undertones, they might notice them because I feel like there is a baseline of common cinema knowledge where they can kind of read into something if they're not living under a log.
But also the whole issue with I'd have to watch it again.
But I think what you're saying is 100, because the crit studies will tell you every single one that's wrong. A general person might get the most overt ones. They might even create ones because they're crit studies.
Also, I'd have to watch it again. It's been a long time since I watched Dumbo. But the crows thing, the complaint has to be with the way the crows talk. It's not a behavior thing. They're not...
Play the crows talking.
They're not fucking carjacking people.
Dumbo crows talking.
You know, they're not selling crack.
They're not dropping the N-bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Elephant in the tree. Click on that one.
But
put it on the...
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, someone from the South, white or black, they sound pretty fucking similar as long as they're, you know, there's certain things.
My, why, this is most irregular. Well, I just can't believe my eyes.
That's pretty bad.
People don't snore. Or do they?
Are these white actors?
What's all the rook? Come on, step aside, brother. What's cooking around here?
That's a white guy.
Frying, boy? Just look down here, brother. And prepare yourself for a shot.
Eat your words, Gian.
Well, hush my feet. Go ahead. Wake him up, brother. Yeah, find out what they're doing up here.
I don't remember this
and
part.
that's what they want. Okay, boys, leave it to me.
Imagine if we found out this was dubbed. This wasn't even the original one. I do want to watch more of that, but we're definitely going to get fucking blocked.
I'm a black guy, and they're the favorite part of the movie. When I was a little kid in the 70s, we didn't sweat the small stuff. Sure, they're stereotypes, but they're the best part of the movie, and they sing the best song.
A fucking man, dude. Amen. Look at his name.
Uncultured barbarian.
No, but you know what? This...
No. That guy probably only dates white women.
It's fucked up. You know what's most fucked up about it is that black people probably weren't in the room helping to create and make that better. That's what's probably the most unfortunate. Because if fucking Tyler Perry, I'm just going to use him as an example because we've been talking about him lately, recreated that scene and did that same with the same voices and he made it even more theatrical.
Nobody would say anything.
No one would say anything. And that's because it's not the content that's bad, it's the creators behind it who's like what makes it tainted. I think that's what it comes down to.
And then the argument is also, is that racist? Is that actually racist?
I don't know. It's in the context of the movie. The movie takes place. Fucking why not?
Is that, look, Ice Cube in that one.
Is it any more racist than having Selma Hayek play a fucking tortilla in the Seth Rogen movie?
And that was done on purpose. You know.
But is it racist?
Yeah, it's a little racist.
So Seth Rogen's a racist for doing that?
No, it was part of the joke. It was in your face.
But I'm saying, how do you know the intent of those crows wasn't the same thing? Because they knew their audience was white and they'd find that to be funny.
Well, then that does make it racist.
No, but it's not the content; it's the people behind it. Because if you put people of color behind those things, people wouldn't have much problem, which you agreed to. So that doesn't. It's mean it's not the content; it's the intent behind the content.
It depends on the creation. Like, hey, I got these crows. I want them to be black guys. Let's get some black actors to come in here. Like, why are the crows black, and why they got to talk like that, as well?
Because it's funny.
Why is it funny? That's the issue. Is it shouldn't be funny.
Because why not?
You know.
Because you're gonna put them in suits and shit. And they're gonna smoke cigars, and they're gonna, excuse me, represent like a specific type of people. Now, if it was the only, I'm just talking
they're
in
like
general.
Fucking buck dancing and shit.
Okay, let's remove Dumbo from the equation because the movie already is made. I'm talking about a hypothetical new movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we were in a pitch room and I wanted to do that, it'd be fucked up if they were the only ones. But if you start, maybe that's why Seth Rogen got away with it. Start doing everything.
Well, it's all
like the frogs talk like Mexicans or something.
Everything's contextual. It's like it's all contextual. Like what up, like if you have a scene, where your character drives into to South Central, into the black part of town, then you would assume everyone's going to talk a certain way in that part of town.
Racist.
I'm just saying. But it's
because unless they're saying, "Hey, stop fool," then it's not real.
If you're like, what I mean is, but if you move the location to like fucking Quebec, like Montreal, where everyone speaks French, and you drive into the bad part of town and there's fucking cholos there, then you have a problem.
You mean like that Indian movie?
If that makes
with Sylvester Stallone, and he's like, "What's up, sucker?"
No,
or whatever.
That was yes, that character specifically, but all the goons. It was very multicultural. The goons. The only thing we did know is they were American. You know.
So do you take back your words now about Dumbo?
Yeah, I can see the. I can.
In conclusion,
but that being said, as a little kid, you don't know. You don't pick up on that.
Because it's funny.
Well,
because you don't.
It's not that it's funny. It's that you have no exposure to it. You have no idea.
You don't understand that a white guy did this because of X, Y, or Z reasons in the 40s.
No,
because you're not exposed to that.
It's not even
dimension
that.
of the world.
It's like if I'm 4 years old watching that, I don't know that black people talk this way.
That's my point.
Or that Mexicans talk this way.
Exactly.
They're just characters.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Now, if I walk on the street and I hear some dude talking and I'm like, oh shit, he sounds like the crow from Dumbo, and I'm like 5, and then my fucking parents get into some shit, and okay, that might be an issue, but you know, if a little kid walks up to, oh my God, you sound like the crow, and then the dude's like, I sound like what? You know, and then we have this whole back and forth.
So you're creating scenarios in your head.
I am creating scenarios. I'm saying, I'm still going to show the baby the movie.
Now, if you had, in conclusion, I think the answer to both of the problems that we brought up today, both YouTube thing and this fucking...
I am with Disney
better
on this.
parenting.
Absolutely. It's all done.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah. Because kids don't know what racism is, and if they like Dumbo and they watch Dumbo and they think the crows are fucking funny, then yeah, maybe if you're a parent, you don't say shit until they understand what that means. Then when they're 8 years old or whatever this age is, you could say, hey, I know you like Dumbo, but there was also this time when this, and this happened.
I don't even think you need to explain that.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to, or you ensure that they're not fucking saying black people sound like the crow. You say, no, don't say that. Yeah. Whatever, to use your example. I'm saying you be a good parent. Same thing with the YouTube shit. There shouldn't be this fucking regulatory, like, oh, you're talking about comic books and you might get a fine now because you said the fucking F word. It's like, well, where are the parents?
I think it's silly that it's on it's silly that it's on the creators to also label their videos when you can. Why don't you make a sign in for the videos? Is it that hard to put a thing that makes it?
They do have that, but your content has to be marked 17 or plus. But if you do that designation, it already fucks you, like in the algorithm wise. But there is certain things.
So like if your shit is labeled mature, it's hard to grow an audience.
It's like watching.
But if you already have, like, I'm sure Rogan, all of his stuff is considered mature.
It's not.
No.
No.
Well, he's gonna have some issues.
Well, that's probably why he's not doing live anymore. But the thing is, it's like having R-rated movies. Your audience is limited because they're not unless you sign in.
Right.
And people might watch our channel and not sign in. They might just, let me see what this trailer is about, and they're not even in an account, so they can still watch. We still get the views. We still get the monetization, the fucking fractions of a penny. But if you're
that shouldn't be on us though. That's the whole problem.
Well, it's kind of this weird situation because it's like, does YouTube really owe us anything? Not really. Which should really it should light a fire under our asses.
No. I meant
to do other things besides YouTube.
Yeah, but I meant along the lines of like if someone stumbles across it without signing in, that shouldn't be,
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't agree with babying anyways. I think there's censorship stuff right now. I think it's fine.
I mean, you need to have control over what your kids watch.
Child porn? No. Murder? No. And if things get lost, people need to do their job and report the videos. And YouTube needs to do their job and review the video and see, oh, you know what? Like, that's why I think there's some company that they force the employees to have, like, cry time. I think at Facebook, because they're the ones who are, like, going in and, like, looking at videos that people are submitting. So the child porn, the gunshot blast, blowing people's heads off, like that crap. The live shooting videos, they're the ones, that's their job to review these videos.
That's a fucked up job.
And they have to have mandatory cry time where it's like, I think it's like maybe I'm making this part up, but it's like every hour they have to have like 7 minutes of like literally monitored time with like
I feel bad for all those H-1 visa workers, dude.
with the psychologist. There it is, 9 minutes to cry. This just came out in the Zuckerberg testimony shit. And it's like mandated, and it's with like a psychologist too. It's not like just them by themselves. So it's like
Crazy.
But no, I say that to say that someone will do this job.
How did someone not come up with an algorithm already to like?
Because our videos can get flagged for something.
No. I meant more along the lines of.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
There has to be a way to recognize that there's like. I guess it's.
How do you know if a kid's
I
getting...
guess differentiating between fake and real is.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
15,000 employees.
I'll just give you a very clear example that there's no argument for. They have those titty videos for like breast cancer or like milking your kids, and the girls just flaunt their tits.
Right.
Because it's for educational purposes. And I'm sure some are doing it for that reason, and some are probably manipulating the system. Either way, that's what it is, right? But how can you know that a girl there is of the age of 18? How do you know as a viewer? How would an algorithm know that?
Right.
You don't. So right there already throws out a lot of things and pretty much requires you to have like someone to watch and review these things. The algorithm kind of solves things, but it's never going to be perfect. That's why there's errors. That's why I think the system is actually more, I think it works now. I don't think,
right.
What do you need to change? Like it's just, it works. What's not working about it right now? I feel like the more you change it, the worse it gets.
FTC doesn't like something about it.
Yeah, because Google didn't do their job. Really, it comes down to it. I mean...
Well, let's just hope it doesn't affect us in the long run.
I hope it doesn't. And I hope that if it does, though, that there is a pushback and that we can change things. I really do believe that.
It's just the shit that Facebook's doing. Just the censorship that we have. Or people trying to Disney have... I don't know. The other issue, and we already said it, has to do with parenting. Like, if you're uncomfortable with these images, then don't show the fucking movie to your kid, you know, or tell your kid what movies are off limits, I guess.
Or if your parent says you can watch it, you should be able to watch it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying it works both ways.
And it goes back to the crit study student. I'm telling you, the only people that are like worried about people watching this are people that don't even have kids.
Because when I was 14, 15 years old on the internet, fuck out of here if you're gonna tell me I'm not gonna watch a rated R movie.
Oh, dude, I've been watching rated R movies since I was probably like 9 years old.
Exactly. So
like those super violent 80s action films.
It makes sense going to a theater and you have to interact with another human being who can see a form of identification to prove without a shadow of a doubt, unless you have a fake, but even then you're taking that risk of getting caught with a fake ID.
Have they changed the regulations on it as well? Because when I was a kid, as long as you had an adult, you could still go into the R-rated film.
You can.
You can still do that.
That's 100% still how it is.
Now they don't kick people out.
But I'm just saying, you have an ID to show that. You don't have an ID to go on the internet, because that's not what the internet is. You can't... People keep trying to make the internet like real life, and that's not what the internet is. When you keep doing that, that's what fucks the internet up. That's what I understand. That's what okay boomers don't get. The internet is not real life. You treat the internet like real life, it fucks the internet up. It'll still go on because big business still has enough money to circumvent all of the problems that they're creating, all of the traffic that they're fucking causing, but it makes it a more and more shitty experience. And the thing is with Disney Plus, and I know you're just kidding with your conspiracy thing, but I think you could have a time when people are spending more time on apps than they are browsing the internet.
No, absolutely.
If the content is that fucking good,
I think we're kind of already there.
So it's like the internet has nothing to worry about in terms of if you're Amazon or eBay or something, because everyone needs to shop. But reading articles, things like that, it's just, I don't know. I'm just saying it's just this whole fucking thing that just should be left alone, I think. I really do think no regulation for the internet is kind of important. And then if YouTube wants to regulate,
that's their own thing.
Then they can do it. It's not my government's right to tell the internet what to do.
And like I said, like we talked off air, but I'm still unclear on how this doesn't infringe like First Amendment rights. you know.
Because we're still able to make the videos. It all has to do with monetization. But they
but that
also
just
seem
sounds-
like the
it's not-
algorithms are being changed.
It
which,
sounds like a fucking loophole
yeah, it does.
to like take away.
It's just like Howard Stern being able to say whatever he wants on air, fucking masturbate on the air, do all that shit.
But he's behind a paywall now.
Well, no, I'm saying back in the day on radio, the FCC would just fine him and keep fining him and fining him, but he could kept doing it because he had the bankroll to do it.
Right.
So it's a legal loophole, as you're saying, 100%, because we're not stopping you. You can get fined until you cannot pay the fines anymore. And if you can pay them for the rest of your life, then go right ahead. But most people can't. So it is a suppression, in my opinion. But we're going to have to see how it develops. We're going to see how it goes because
I mean,
it's still so
like,
vague.
how is
I don't
that
know what the fuck.
How it just doesn't seem constitutional. And I know the FCC gets away with it because it's technically not a government agency. It's a fucking
And Google's private.
It's a private, yeah. But the FTC, you know,
It doesn't make sense. Any way you cut it.
is that a public agency in itself?
It just doesn't make sense because the bill's 21 fucking years old, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden it's becoming a thing, and now it's gonna decide to fuck everything up. Like, really?
Whose kid got fucked up? Somebody's kid. Somebody's kid was watching a bunch of fucking toy commercials and racked up their fucking parents' credit card or something, and that person happened to be a senator.
I don't even know if it is.
or a
It might
representative.
even be fucking simpler than
I
that.
mean, who fucking knows? I mean, I guess maybe we're just gonna start uploading all our videos to Pornhub and see what happens, because I'm pretty sure we're protected there.
Can't say that.
Can't say that.
Yeah, we might have just gotten fucked up. This is not for kids. We repeat, this podcast is not for kids. So,
But I think that's gonna. Well, you know, actually, Black Klansman. Finally watched it because it's on HBO. I watched it because the advertisement, like, we're taking it down soon. I had no idea it was. They didn't advertise it at all
until they're going to take it
until
down.
they're gonna take it down. So I decided to watch it, and it was interesting, very interesting.
Well, your mind is much fresher on the film than mine because it came out 2 years ago. And
Was it 2 years or was it last year? I thought it was last year.
I thought it was 2017. Either way, it's been a while. I liked it. I remember liking it a lot. I like Denzel Washington's kid. He's great. Not in the movie, just in general. Like I'm actually really liking him more and more.
He's a big fan of Ballers.
I've only seen the first season, and I didn't even really put together that was him until later, because I didn't
know it was his kid when I saw him on Ballers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together until later.
Once I found out, I could start seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember the movie almost 100% got me, and then the ending was a little like it didn't have enough punch for me, but I liked the Charlottesville stuff that Spike did, because it was like a throwback Spike. He hadn't done a movie like that in a while.
What was odd about the Charlottesville stuff was like the movie itself doesn't seem like it takes itself serious. Like it felt like I was watching Spike Lee do a Wes Anderson film. Like there was like a lot of that, like because
because it was showing the hypocrisy of the. So in my opinion, when the movie came out, it was almost peak Trump. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've plateaued with Trump. It's just that bad. It's just or good, whatever you want, whatever word. Where we peaked and we're still plateau. We're just there. We've just constantly been there. But at the height, in my opinion, was kind of when this movie came out. And so, because you got to remember, like, all of Spike's rhetoric during that time, all he was talking about, fuck Trump, like, he was really going...
Right.
It was really he was really...
There was definitely reference to that, like, in the movie, there's, like, a line that's definitely referencing Trump, like...
I feel like he was showing how absurd these actual conversations probably were and these events were, and the reason why he was doing that is because they were still happening today.
Right.
So it was
like they were mirroring.
Like, look at...
Even though this happened in the late 70s, it was
and
mirroring.
They're like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
so
like,
in my opinion,
shit
everything was a joke in
Right.
that way. But things like Charlottesville, like the Charlottesville bit, there's no way that's funny. Like, you're not laughing at that.
No, and it happened, like, the transition towards it was odd, like, as well. Like, I wasn't expecting that. You know, because it ends with they hear a noise, he grabs a gun, she pulls a gun out of her purse that he doesn't even know she has, and then they walk into the hall, like they walk around the corner, and then they're in a hallway, and it's a fucking never-ending hallway where they're like, basically like on a treadmill or
The Spike Lee shot.
yeah,
That's what
and
his
it's just
shot is.
moving forward, and then you just see a window, and it's just them like they keep moving in the window, and then we get to the window, they see like crosses burning, they go close up in the cross burning, and then all of a sudden, boom, you go into the Charlottesville shit, and I'm like, it went from like this kind of surreal, like fantastical shot to real life footage of what happened at Charlottesville, and you know, basically that guy that plowed into everybody was the. It starts with the people like I didn't realize, you know, because I never watched any of the videos, but like the guys were actually basically saying all kinds of white power shit.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't watch that.
Yeah.
The neo-Nazi, the tiki
Yeah,
torch.
yeah,
those are the tiki torches.
Yeah, and fucking people defending those guys that they weren't racist, you know, and
Why do you think the Trump's comments were so fucking
Yeah.
stupid? When he's like,
It's-
there are good people on both sides or whatever he said.
it's fuck, man. Then I'm like, yeah, it was. I understand why he put it in there, but the transition toward it was like just
No, but that's
just so weird.
That solidifies this theme of what I'm talking about, because right before that, that's when they all blow up. Right? There's a big car explosion or something, and then like the people who were supposed to die didn't die, but then the people who were
Because the wife put the bomb.
I
in
forgot
the wrong place.
whatever the the turn of events were, and then I forgot about that was the actual ending. Because it's supposed to be, if I'm correct, if I'm
Then
wrong.
after that, they go in a bar, they're celebrating, and then they pinch the cop who's like admits to like.
But the ending is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ending is highlighting like that what you just said, shit hasn't changed. Like, they're heroes, they did all these good things, but yet they're still being fucking hunted by these fucking people. That's what Spike, you also have to keep in mind what that shot means in Spike's films, because he uses it in every single one of his movies. Like, that's his shot. It's cameras on the dolly, actors on the dolly, and then they move the dolly with the camera, so the camera's locked off. But so they're just that's a shot. And there's always something more. I have to watch the movie again to give you the context of it. But like he always uses that shot for a specific like moment. I don't know.
I mean, if he uses that, if that's his
if
that's his signature transition shot, then it makes sense. But for all the Spike Lee movies I've seen, this one is definitely the most like it's a kind of absurdist.
No, it's definitely. Well, I mean, you have Alec Baldwin talking in the projector and shit.
Right.
There's a bunch of things.
I mean, he still uses like there's still like his montages that he uses.
But it wasn't the same. It was like
No.
a new age. It was a new age.
Well, like I said, it almost felt like a Wes Anderson, like his interpretation of like what Wes Anderson does.
Yeah, I think he was appealing to a younger generation. But it's been a while since I've seen it.
I
so-
mean, it was good. It was just like it was uncomfortable the entire time. Like it was like weird because the stuff that was happening was like, okay, this is based on a real story. Like this is supposedly really happened,
It did.
but he set it all up.
I don't know if the events of the movies happen like that, but it's based on.
No, it's based on
guy's real and
it's based on a
everything.
true story. Yeah. Like obviously with all films, like that things get fudged for
Well, it's-
cinematic
yeah.
purposes. But
It's based on his book.
like it was stuff in there like all these uncomfortable like real life situations, but he still.
I wish you watched it when I
fucking
watched
funny,
it
man.
because I don't remember.
Well,
I know there's the white
you still got time
supremacist
before they
shit.
take it down.
The white supremacist
You know,
stuff.
and then had like
he'd go out.
you had the
and hang
main
out
guy.
with
You
them.
had that one weird guy who was like weary of him the entire time, and he knew he was a Jew from the second he walked in, even though Adam Driver's not Jewish in real life.
That's right.
You know, poor guy.
I think there was a few Jewish jokes in.
Oh,
the
there's
movie.
tons.
Yeah.
The whole thing was like, and bomb this, Jew that. Like those were the two groups they went after more than anybody else throughout the film. Like basically the whole David Duke thing was actually more anti-Jewish than it was anti. He had that weird like moment where he got emotional about his fucking mammy. You know,
Hey man, that's a big part of people's lives.
fucking Topher Grace like making a comeback. He
As a racist.
kind of looks like David Duke when they showed like David Duke at the end. I was
He
like, oh,
played a good
shit,
racist.
yeah.
He did a good racist.
Yeah, and then they watch fucking the Klansman, Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation, yeah.
After they,
That's right. They had the
After
whole
he
Birth of a
makes
Nation
it.
scene.
but then then there was other things like you had fucking Turturro, Nick Turturro in there, as the guy who's like, oh that guy he pinched me. He's the guy that threw me into prison a few years back.
Oh, he's the one who snitched.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. It's been a while.
Well, he's the guy that tells Felix. Felix is the guy that's weary of Adam Driver the whole time.
Yeah, he's the one who lets him in on it, that he knows him.
Yeah.
And then he might not be the guy who he
But
says
what was
he is.
ironic about that, it was like you used Nick Turturro, this short, dark-skinned fucking Sicilian with like curly fucking hair. Like if anybody was going to be accused of something, that would be the first guy I would look at, because he does not look like pure white Aryan. Obviously he's had to.
He's on the spectrum.
John Turturro, Spike Lee's known the Turturros because they're probably from Brooklyn as well. He's known them since.
They're on the spectrum is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Could be Jew, could be black.
Those are the people that Dennis Hopper referred
Not
to.
white.
That's who Dennis Hopper was talking about in fucking True Romance before Christopher Walken shoots
The
him.
eggplants?
Yes. Where he goes through that
The
whole
eggplant scene, I mean.
Like I understand why sometimes people get upset with Tarantino's older scenes, because the eggplant scene where he's describing Sicilians, and Nicky Turturro. But there's that. And did you want to talk about, before we wrap this up, do you want to talk about The Irishman at all? I know we mentioned it.
Not until you see it.
All right. Well, Thanksgiving.
No, just because I don't want to give anything. I want you to see it just as I
You want
saw
to keep
it.
it spoiler free?
Yeah, I don't want to. All I will say this, and it's not a spoiler. The de-aging works. It's not a distraction at all. Like, it works, and because
It doesn't look like Tron 2.
85-90% of the movie. The difference between this movie and Tron 2 is Tron was just the one scene, obviously, because technology would only allow like those few scenes he was in
Yeah.
it. This is the whole movie. Like, the entire movie's de-aged, pretty much, other than towards, well, I'm not going to say when, but you'll see De Niro at his current age.
What, did they hit Joe Pesci at all? Because he looks old as fuck in the billboards.
Everybody's de-aged.
I was like, I didn't know that was Joe Pesci.
Yeah, but that's also when that's a certain. The poster is a certain timeline, a point in time in the movie.
Right.
So he looks younger than that. He looks older than that. It goes all over. But de-aging is used across the board on Pacino, on Pesci, on Harvey
Okay, the
Keitel.
only question, did you see Turbo?
Yes,
Okay.
and he has a close-up.
He didn't get Brian Callen in the Joker.
No, dude,
Okay.
they posted a meme on the Fighter and the Kid page, and it's so. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It's a fucking out of focus shot, and it says like Brian Callen's one shot in the movie or something like that.
Michael Rappaport's on the latest episode, and he's just going off on Callen. He's like, I watched the Joker 3 times. I still haven't seen Brian Callen.
I heard him. He's in one bit. There's a wide shot he's in.
Yeah.
He's wearing like the little thing. But yeah, no, I recommend it. I love it. I don't even know where I'd rank it on his list of things. Yeah, I would just, my only thing is watch it, let it sit, and then maybe even rewatch it.
That's 7 hours, bro.
I'm just saying, because I watched it the first time, and then the second time is what solidified everything for me. Like, it just, I was like, I'm not going to tell you my impression, but by the time I was done, I'm like, it stayed in my mind, and then a few days went by, I rewatched it, and then, yeah, it's great.
All right. We'll see. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on iTunes, leave a review. We only have 18 fucking reviews, guys. It's not that hard. Go into your phone. Beep, 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 beep.
Shit.
And, yeah, we'll see you next time.